Welcome back, guys. Let me show you how I achieved this playsuit with this beautiful colorful fabric. So for the down part, that is the bottom part, you're going to fold it like a triangle, just like I am doing, because it's a flay, so you want to fold it like you're cutting a circle, right? So you fold it like this in a triangle form, and then you get I'm going to be using my hip measurement on the waist, because there is an elastic on the waist area, so you want it to be free so that by the time you attach your elastic, it kind of gives it that scrunched effect, right? So use your hip measurement for the waist of the pants or the short area. I'm sorry, my chalk wasn't really showing. I didn't notice until I finished recording. But if you follow my hand and everything, you understand. So on the folded part of this fabric, I am going to mark 3 inches. Now this 3 inches, I'm going to mark it all the way down to the length of my short. This is the space I'll be using for my crotch. Alright, so the length of my short, I'm marking 18 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, which is 19 for the full length of the short. So I marked it there, and I just marked the 3 inches all the way down to the length of my short. This is the space, like I said, I will use to create my crotch area. Now the next thing I want to do is to mark my crotch. Normally I use 11 inches for my crotch, but because this is a free pant, you don't want it to be tight, you're going to add 2 inches or 3 inches or even 4 inches, depending on how free you want the crotch area to be. Okay, it's going to be circle, so no need for it to be tight. So I marked 11 inches plus 2 inches, which is 13 inches as my crotch depth. Then on there, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches outside for my crotch extension, and I'm going to create a curve. Now I'm using 1.5 because I am on the slim size. I'm a size 6, but if you're bigger size, you can use from 2 to 2.5 inches depending on the size. Okay, now I also just brought that 1.5 inch down to the length of my short, and that is my crotch area. Now what I want to do, because I mentioned that the length of my short is 19 inches, that is 18 plus 1 inch seam allowance is 19. So what I'll do is place my tape at the tip of this triangle and mark my measurement all the way around. Okay, so mark it all the way around. You're placing it on that tip so that you get an equal circle shape, because it's a circle band. So you want to mark it, rotate your tape and mark it. Make sure you're using the length of your short. So once you get all the measurements all the way around, you're going to now cut it like so. So this is for the front part of the shorts. I'm going to be using this as a guide to cut the back. So I'm basically going to cut out this, and then I'm going to fold a triangular shape again, and then I'll just place this one on the fabrics in order to cut the back. So guys, if you're watching up to this point, kindly hit on the like button, subscribe to this channel please, it's absolutely free. Thank you for watching. So once that's done, can you see that I've already cut out the front? I'm going to use this to cut the back. Now the only difference between the front and the back is the crotch extension as well. The crotch extension, you're going to just extend the back of the crotch of the back pattern or panel, okay, so that it will kind of accommodate your butt area. So just like I folded for the front, I folded for the back as well, and I placed the front on top of it. Now I'm going to extend the back crotch by 1.5 again, because I want the small size. If you're bigger, you can extend by the same thing you extended for the front, which is from 2 and 2.5. So I extended by 1.5. I'm just going to bring that 1.5 inch down as well. You see, just brought it down, and that is all. I just connected it like this using the front. So that's basically the difference. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Now I have both the front and the back. Then I'll add a pocket to it. So I'll just measure from my waist. I'll measure 2 inches and then I'll notch it. That is where I start fixing my inner pockets. Okay, just notch it. Then I'll set this aside and I'll cut the upper bodice. So for the upper bodice, it's just pretty easy. I'm also going to use my so I'm just marking out the starting point line, and then I marked my shoulder of 7 inches. I'm going to just mark from my starting point. I'll mark 1.5 inch down. Then that 1.5 inch is just allowance, folding allowance, because I'll be attaching a rubber. By the time I fold the neckline, I'll attach a rubber to it, as you can see in my video, to create, my strapless sleeve. So I'm just coming down by 1.5 inch, and then the next thing I'm going to do is from that 1.5 inch I came down by, I'm going to place my tape and just take off 5 inches, because this is like an off shoulder. You're cutting like you're cutting an off shoulder. So you place your tape and take away 5 inches, and then you mark your armhole. I marked 9 inches. Normally I would mark 8 inches, but I marked 9 because I want it to be free. Then I'll mark my waist as well, and I added 1 inch to my waist because I also want it to be free. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to get my bust measurement. Now I did my bust measurement and I added 2 inches is allowance. Okay, you can do 1 inch is allowance depending on how free you want. Now for my waist, I am using my hip circumference on my waist area, because we used our hip circumference on the pants area, so we also use our hip circumference for this part. And I connected it to the bust measurement I have, and then I'm going to draw a slant line from my shoulder to my bust measurement like this. I'm so sorry, I didn't know my chalk was this invisible. I don't know, but I just pray that you understand what I am doing. I'm just going to cut this out. I added ½ inch at the hemline. Now this is it for the front area. So by the time I fold this in, I'm going to attach a rope inside, and then the armhole, I'm going to use my bias tape to just sew it up. Now I'm going to cut exactly the same thing for the back. Exactly the same thing, there's no difference. So now we have the front bodice and the back bodice. This doesn't have any zip, of course. It's a free top, free play suit with an elastic at the waist. So I'll go ahead and fold this part. Remember we added 1.5 inches allowance, so you fold it like so, and then you first of all pipe your armhole, okay, with the bias. I'll do it for the two bodies, the front and the back, and then I'll join my crotch for the front and the back, and then I'll also join it the bodice to the short part of the playsuit. So I've done all of that. I have created that opening. I also piped the armhole with the bias, joined the short part to the bodice, attached my pockets. What I'll do now is to place the front on the back, front and the back together, front facing front. I am going to sew it by the side with half of an inch, just like this. Sew the pockets, then I am going to sew this part of the shorts, just cover it up by half of an inch, and then I'll go ahead and create the rope I'll use for the neckline. And then you also attach your elastic on the waist, so you just measure your waist measurements and remove 2 inches from your waist and sew it directly on your waist like I did. And that is all for the tutorials, guys. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.